All right, I'm on IR, but the news doesn't stop. So a lot of people are taking shots at me in my comments in my old videos because I said they had to trade Kyrie to the Lakers. And what did they do? They traded him to the Dallas Mavericks. So it came out that Josiah wanted to send him to Dallas or Phoenix. He didn't want to send him to Lakers just to spite him. Biting your nose to spite your face. It is what it is. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's talk about this for Dallas. From Dallas's perspective, I don't really think that this is going to work defensively, and it's been talked about a lot. I'm not the first person to say this. Dorian Finney-Smith was their most capable wing and perimeter defender. He could guard Steph Curry, John Morant. He could guard the Kawhi Leonards of the world, the Paul Georges of the world. When they play the Lakers, the LeBron Jameses of the world. So you're not going to have someone to match up with that. But offensively, and this what the thinking is in Dallas, like, hey, offensively, we're just going to be so dominant. But I don't really see that as the case. If you read into Jalen Brunson leaving this offseason, he left because he didn't feel that he was going to be that much part of the offense because Luka Doncic is the most ball dominant player in the league. And a lot of people compare him to LeBron, but my favorite comparison for Luka is James Harden. And you've seen star after star until this recent iteration that he's become in Philly get kind of frustrated with the way that James Harden dominated the ball back then. And that's the way that Luka plays. Luka plays very slow. He pounds the dribble. He's either going to go right to the basket or go left for that step back. And it seems like he spends 10 seconds of the clock trying to see which way that you're going to give him the ball. I don't think Luka's going to give the last shot opportunities to Kyrie as openly as LeBron used to. I don't think that they're going to be able to push the pace like LeBron did to get extra possessions, which would then satisfy Kyrie Irving's want to have the ball. I don't really think that they complement each other as far as a pick and roll type game. The way that LeBron did because of LeBron's ability to actually roll hard to the basket and get something. You know that the play that put them up four in the NBA Finals in Game 7 was LeBron and Kyrie doing a pick and roll and LeBron rolling hard to the rim. You're never going to see Luka Doncic do that. So I don't like the fit. I understand why they're doing it. They're starving and they're thirsty. Sometimes when you're thirsty and you're out in the middle of the sea, you drink the seawater. Even though you know it's going to be bad for you at the end, just that cool feeling coming down your body is worth it. And I just think that with Luka Doncic's free agency coming up, they want to have the ability to say to him, like, hey, listen, man, we tried. You see that we went for Kyrie. It didn't work out, but we're going to continue to try. And if Kyrie walks this offseason, they have a max cap space open. So potentially else could get traded to that. But if you really look around the league, teams are very hesitant to make trades. Star players moving, which is, again, reason 101 why I didn't like that Sacramento Kings trade is when star players are truly available, it's becoming smaller and smaller in this league. You see the Wizards are not trying to trade Bill. The Bulls are not trying to trade Levine. So that max cap slot I don't think is going to be worth what they think it is, but we'll see. From the Nets standpoint, again, they bit their nose to spite their face. You could see that the trade that I theorized of them eventually sending those picks and assets to Toronto when Horace and Woj reported that that's what they tried to do, but it wasn't enough. Maybe Toronto would have liked more if they would have had both Lakers unprotected picks, which they offered, instead of one unprotected pick that they got from Dallas. So I predicted the Lakers because I thought it made the most sense, but I didn't know that people were going to be in their feelings about this. But hey, he's a billionaire. He lives a good life. He probably doesn't, the Nets, the day-to-day thing after they lose, it probably doesn't affect him, so he wants to move on. But I got to get Kyrie back. For what reason, I don't know. But it looks like the Nets are going to try to reload and make another trade, and try to go to the Raptors and try to look around the league. But everybody's going to the Raptors. And it would have been nice to offer those 5 picks, the one from Philly, their 2 picks, and then 2 Lakers unprotected picks. You could really move mountains with those 5 picks. That's an offer I think Toronto would have really had to consider. But nope, they wanted to give Dallas this pick. You might say, hey, at least Dallas gave them one. But remember, everybody's under the assumption that Luka Doncic is probably going to be the best player in the league in the year of our Lord 2029. You know, that's 6 years away, but Luka's not even going to be 30 yet. So if Luka's still on Dallas, what does a 2029 pick matter to me? But the Lakers 2029 and 2027 pick, you look at them and you say, hey, we're going to have an AD that's about, what, 34, 35. We're going to have a LeBron that's over 40, that's in his mid 43, I believe, at the time. So that pick is more valuable. But hey, they didn't want to do it. So we'll see what happens going forward in the deadline. A lot of teams are trying to make trades, but it just doesn't look like the sellers are out there. So we'll see what ends up happening for the gold standard. We'll see what ends up happening for the Nets, because I would not be surprised if the Nets are not able to make a move tomorrow that you hear a KD trade demand by Wednesday. I don't think KD is going to ruin the last part of his prime with a team with Spencer Dinwiddie as his second best player. He knows that's not good enough to win. I know that's not good enough to win. You know that's not good enough to win. And since you guys are granting trade demands, Kyrie Irving asks to get traded on Friday, and you trade him on Sunday. Since you're in a trade granted mood, go ahead and trade me too. You already have your list of offers from the summer. Put me back on the market. I would not be surprised if this leads to KD by Wednesday. If they don't find a player that is suitable to say, hey, KD, we have reloaded, we're good enough to contend. And that's the whole reason why I said the Lakers pick. Those two Lakers picks, you could get a Van Vliet and a Siakam. You could tell them, hey, Van Vliet is going to expire after this season. And Siakam doesn't fit the same timeline because he's 29 as your best young player in Scotty Barnes. And instead of trading OG Anunoby, who everybody wants because he's such a great 3-and-D player, let's keep him and let's expand his role and see what he has. And we have our picks and we're down near the bottom. It would have made complete sense. But the package isn't as good now because you're trading them a 2029 pick where potentially Luka Doncic is going to be on the team, and that's going to be a late-round pick. So that is what I think on that. Do not be surprised if by Wednesday, I'm predicting it, Wednesday, first thing you hear, Kevin Durant has demanded a trade. Because I know it and you know it and KD knows that this team with Ben Simmons, who has been an unmitigated disaster, and Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie, is not good enough to contend. All right, let me know what you think. The game is the game. On location, on IR, but the content never stops.